During this time of high inflation, entrepreneurs are facing significant challenges. Chief among them, the cost of doing business. Small business owners are struggling just to maintain their bottom line. To provide some insight, we're joined by Bridget Weston, CEO of SCORE, an organization that conducted a recent survey on challenges small businesses are facing, and small business owner Aaron Mulheron of AM Glass Repair in Marion, Iowa. We've seen prices on materials go up as much as 15%. And Bridget, I want to start with you. A year ago, inflation was not on the radar for small business owners. Now, nearly a third are extremely worried. How do these responses compare to what you heard just 2 years ago?
It's great to be here with you. And what we've heard before the pandemic was that finding financing and customers were the #1 and 2 concerns for small business owners. Now, inflation, supply chain disruptions, and cash flow are rapidly growing issues as this economy remains tumultuous.
Aaron, turning to you, what are your concerns? Do you line up with any of those numbers? Are you extremely concerned about the impacts?
Yeah, I think the hardest thing that we have right now is we have so many price increases coming so rapidly that it's very hard to even bid projects or jobs accurately. We used to be able to kind of sort of just off the top of your head look at a job and tell people what you think it was going to cost. And at this point in like the last year, it's just been impossible. You can't guess because you can't afford to lose that money.
What type of raw materials are you short on? What goes into glass repair that you can't get a hold of?
It's not really so much that we can't get anything. There's some hardware that's getting harder to find in the certain finishes that you need. But a lot of it's just extremely long lead times. Everything is taking longer to get. And then the other problem we have is because of the cash flow issues that we're being dealt because we have to buy our materials in advance in order to lock in the prices that we use to bid the jobs. We're sitting on materials for 6 months or something long before we're ever installing them or getting paid for them.
It sounds like quite a ripple effect there. So how are you working to combat all this?
So, I mean, we're pretty much having to get every single job quoted, like I was saying, and as well as that, we're having to buy materials way ahead of time. And we work with a SCORE mentor, and one of the things that we kind of came up with is doing cash flow forecasts, trying to make sure that the money is going to be here when we need it to be here to cover labor, employees, everything else that goes into running the business, as well as taking advantage of credit terms, lines of credit, and different financing options like that.
So, Bridget, turning back to you, I want to talk about solutions here. The Federal Reserve is stepping in, raising interest rates in hopes of cooling off inflation. But that hurts borrowing power, especially for smaller companies. So what can small businesses do to survive this supply chain nightmare and these inflation spikes?
So you heard some great examples from Aaron in terms of cash flow projections and looking at different things, potentially buying supplies earlier to avoid even greater price spikes. Some of the other options are looking at a different client mix. Can you go after different types of customers who may be more profitable? The others are there ways to improve efficiencies, to cut cost and improve the flow of cash flow into the business? Really, some of the things include raising prices themselves, which does impact potentially the number of total sales. What every business owner can do long-term is, like Aaron said, work with a SCORE mentor, a business expert who can help you plan for the future so that whenever these disruptions occur, whether it's a pandemic or inflation, your business is as protected as it can be and knows what to do the second that emergency happens.
And Bridget, just really quickly, is the Fed's moves, is that going to help at all with inflation?
Well, I'm not sure what it will do for small business owners. What we do know is that our small business owners are telling us that they are looking for relief in any way possible. So if that does indeed help the small business owner with financing, then that is what the small business owners need.
It's a fascinating discussion, and I'm really glad to have you on, Aaron, especially because we all know of how this affects the consumer. We see it every day at the grocery store, at the gas pump, but to also know the perspective of a business owner is very valuable. Aaron, thank you so much for your time. Of AM Glass Repair in Iowa. Bridget Weston, CEO of SCORE, an organization working to help small businesses. Thank you to you both.
Thank you.